Hey everyone, Adventure Ben here, and today I'm going to show you how to turn this and this into a free minnow trap. Thanks for watching. Okay, so the first step is to find an old 2-liter bottle. So see, I've got one right here. It still has the cap. You don't need the cap, but it can be helpful when you're trying to cut into it. So I'm actually going to use two because I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. And you guys will have to decide which way you think is best. Take a knife, and you should probably put down a cutting board or something, but I really don't want to get up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife, and instead of just stabbing right away, I'm going to find where it's flat and it starts to curve, and I'm going to set up my knife, and I'm just going to go across and just kind of scratch and scar the surface. So after wearing it down a little bit with the knife, eventually I heard a hissing sound. Air was coming through, which means I had a hole, and just kept going and pushing a little bit harder, and I managed to make a little slit right there. And that slit is big enough for me to take my scissors, put it in here, and I'm going to cut all the way around. So this is what it should look like. Now don't worry if it's all rough and it's scarred. It's not meant to look pretty. It's meant to work. But yeah, you should have, this should be able to go right in here. And you can see how it'll make a nice flush surface somewhat, where you could put holes in and tie string to it, or you could staple it together. I've gone ahead and I've cut both of my 2 liters, and I've removed the caps because we don't want the caps on for this next part. Since we lock these, or we staple these or tie these into place, and we have the cap on, you're gonna have to take everything back apart because you can't get the bait in and you can't get the minnows to go in. So make sure you remove the caps. Now we want to take our cut bottles, and I'm going to do the simplest one first. I'm going to take my stapler, and I'm going to lock these into place. Now this can be a little tricky, especially if your bottle was crushed beforehand. So I'm going to try and do this, but it's going to be a whole lot of noise, so I might just skip ahead for after I get a few staples in. Okay, so after 2 staples, it's holding a lot better. And I think with 3 staples, minnows are going to be able to get in, but there's a little hole here, but nothing's going to be able to get out. So I think we're all set. Fast and easy, right? Problem is, after you catch your minnows, every staple that you put in is another staple you have to take out. So 3 well-placed staples around the edges. You can do more if you'd like, but it'll just make things more difficult. The other method for doing this is to use twine. Now, in order to do twine, we have to put holes in this, and this is where things get tricky. But the benefits of using twine is you can reuse this trap over and over and over again. And when you're there and you catch minnows, all you have to do is cut the twine, tear the thing apart, and it's really fast. And you can save everything. You can just keep doing it over again. So what I'm going to do is I have a hole puncher. I'm going to take this, I'll line it up, maybe. Take this, okay. I'm going to take my hole puncher, line it up, get in there, and go through. There we go. So now I've got a hole there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my twine, or you can use shoelace, rope, whatever you can find. That'll work, as long as it's not, really weak, or it's not even going to hold. There's not going to be a whole lot of tension on this, so you can pretty much get away with almost anything. But I want something just to hold this in place for now. Okay, see that? Got it tied there. Now I'm going to move down, and I'm going to do it again. I've got my holes in place, which was a little difficult with the hole punch, to be honest. I think what I'll do next time is I will do 1 at a time, do 4 all the way around on the base, and I'll do 4 all the way around on the top before I put them together. As long as they're somewhat close, you can line it up. It's really not that hard. Now we've got a really ugly minnow trap, but it's free. The minnows aren't going to go in the traps on their own, so we need some bread. What we're gonna do is take a piece of stale bread that you have, or maybe the end pieces to a loaf of bread that if your family doesn't eat it, because my family just normally tosses those, and why waste them when you can use them to catch minnows? So take your trap, tear off little pieces, and no, this bread is not stale. Yes, I had to use a good piece of bread, so that sucks. But you might not need the whole thing. Just a few pieces are probably going to be good. So I took off 4 maybe inch square pieces in this one, and I'll do the same over here. Now that our traps are baited, all we need to do is go to the water, find a location, and we're almost set. I'm at my secret minnow location, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my traps right here, take some dirt and gravel, more rocks if you can get it, gravelly rocks and stuff. I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to dump it in here. This will make it so that it weighs down. It weighs a little bit heavier, and it'll stay on the bottom better, hopefully. Because if not, any slight current could just pick this thing up and move it, and we don't want that to happen. Especially if we've got minnows in it, because then they'll just all die. Okay, that's enough. Just a few, you don't need too many. I've come back a few hours later, and I just pulled it out, and check this out. Look at that. The amount of fish that are in here is just crazy. So I'm going to let these guys go. But I mean, wow. Look at that. This is amazing. I really didn't think it was going to work this well. This is after 8 hours, because I kind of forgot. So as you can see, the traps do work. It only takes a few minutes to set up, and within a few hours you can have minnows. Thanks for watching.